Shot clock violation.
What's up, Violation Junkies, and welcome back to Shot Clock Violation, the only NBA podcast hosted by casual NBA superfans, Zach Huber and Scott Schultz. I'm Zach Huber, and this is Scott Schultz.
Hey everyone, really rough week, rough episode last time, losing. So now I have a 3-1 lead over Zach, and I don't ever see myself blowing that. So wish me luck.
Yes, and as always, also here with us is our referee, Jack Cronin. Now, don't forget that similar to an actual NBA ref, Jack knows absolutely nothing about the NBA, but he still has absolute authority over this show. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to him. Here you go, Jack.
Thank you very much, Zach. And as my first act as referee of this episode, I've just been waiting for this. My first order of business is we can't be calling people violation junkies. That's just... It sounds like a crime.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't sold on it anyway. I'm just trying to think of a name to call our fans. I'm really not sure what to call them. I've come up with a couple ideas. Violation junkies, shot clock violators. Maybe we could call them the violators. We could call them shot cluckers. You know, I don't want to call them shot clockers, but like shot cluckers sounds like kind of like a fun little offshoot of that. I don't know, man. We got to come up with a name to call the fans of the show. And I don't know, Violation Junkies sounded like the best out of cluckers and violators. And it's kind of weird. I don't know what to call them. NBA fans?
Listeners. Let's start with listeners, but maybe we'll work through it with the episode.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we'll come up with it eventually. Maybe they'll weigh in. Maybe these listeners will tell us what they want to be called, what the proper title is for them. Definitely probably not junkies or shot clock violators. Although, I mean, hey, the shot clock violators. That sounds like a minor league team somewhere. I don't know. It just has authority with it.
Just the quirky shot clock violators, AA baseball team.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, this is our emergency podcast because I guess basketball's back, man. There's a couple preseason games that came out. There's a lot to talk about now after we've got some game footage. Like, what's up, dude? The NBA is secretly back.
Yeah, so I was kind of surprised to hear that we'd be having an episode. I didn't know basketball was being played, and I figured maybe you were just like, maybe you got lonely and wanted to talk about like the pickup games you've been playing at the park.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was kind of confused too. The league said it was going to start on like right around Christmas on the 22nd. I was like, yes, basketball so soon. And then all of a sudden I'm looking on YouTube and I'm like, holy shit, they're playing games. What? What's going on? The preseason has already started. This is the shortest offseason in any sports history. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it is the shortest offseason in sports history. So crazy.
Not as short as my 2K season when I simulate through it. And for all Jack knows, we're really just reporting on all the games that happened in my NBA 2K season. So he's just
It's all the same to me. It's all numbers.
Yes, Jack never watches the NBA.
It's my favorite Simpsons joke. They just cover up the mouth. Yeah, yes, my favorite team, the Atlanta Hawks. Which, speaking of which, with this lovely list that you guys gave me to host this, we're going to be talking about the Hawks and the Magic. Thank you.
Nice. Yes.
Okay, so tell me what you guys saw in this game, first game back preseason or something. What were your impressions?
Yeah, are we doing a clock or are we just filling you in?
No, just fill me in. What happened in the game? Who won?
Yeah, I mean, the Hawks are retooled, Jack. They're tooling up for like hopefully a remarkable season. Like they're actually putting their chips in the basket this time. Where in the past they've been like flirting with the idea of being like a decent basketball team that's good competition. This season they went all in. They got a bunch of people from other teams around the league. I actually picked up some of the best players on other people's teams. They picked up Bogdanovich, who was like maybe the second best player in the Kings, in my opinion. They picked up Gallinari, who was like the leading scorer on the Oklahoma City Thunder last year. They picked up a lot of good players. They have Clint Capella, low-key, John Collins, Trae Young. This is going to be a fun squad this year to check out. And so this is a really fun game to check out because they're so fun and the Magic are so boring.
Those are a lot of names. Scott, is there anything else Zach missed?
The only thing that he missed for this game that he briefly touched on at the end is that the Orlando Magic are kind of an island of misfit toys of a collection of assets that don't really work together. And I did a little deep diving into research and saw on Wikipedia they've been under a rebuilding phase since 2012. And I'm really scared that if they keep rebuilding, this is just going to go on indefinitely and say like 30 years down the line, Wikipedia has yet to introduce a new era for the Orlando Magic.
Dude, who knows? If we don't donate to Wikipedia right now, Wikipedia might not be around when the Orlando Magic stop rebuilding.
We'd love to tell you this episode was sponsored by Wikipedia, but instead we've sponsored Wikipedia.
You're right, Jack. So do you want to put some seconds on the clock, Jack? Do you want our takes on this hot game?
I absolutely do. So Zach, we're going to start with you. We're going to ask you about the Hawks. Are you impressed at all with what you've seen out of the Hawks in this game and with their recent moves in the offseason? 24 seconds on the clock starts now.
Yeah, dude. Frankly, I'm so stoked. Like, this is the first time I've really been enjoying the Hawks in a long time, since the Joe Johnson era. And Trae Young is a super fun player who is one of the best rising stars in the NBA. And he's finally got a good team surrounding him. He's probably going to make it to like the playoffs this year, or at least make it a little distance in the play-in tournament. I'm really excited for them. They did great in this game. It was fun to watch.
Right on, right on. Scott, how about you, partner? What did you think of the Hawks?
The Hawks are a tough one. The Hawks are really fun to watch. They did one thing really well last year, offense, and they went out and got some offensive firepower to help it. The only problem is, and not to have a surface level hot take, but they're not good defensively, and they didn't really get any defensive pieces. So will it translate to wins? I'm skeptical, but they are fun to watch.
Excellent.
I don't know, Scott. You're saying they don't have any defensive pieces, but then we're looking at people like Clint Capella, who didn't sign with them this offseason but got traded to them. He's a great rim protector. And we got John Collins, who is incredibly athletic. I won't say he's a great defender, because I don't watch, frankly, enough Atlanta Hawks basketball to call him a great defender, because I don't know. But I'm imagining with his athleticism, he can be a problem for people.
The problem with Clint Capella is he's kind of a glorified rim runner, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's why Houston Rockets were willing to get rid of him and just play a 6'6" Robert Covington for the Pocket Rockets last year. And they do have a lot of athletic pieces. Like, yes, Kevin Huerter, Cam Reddish, these guys could develop on the wings to play defense. I just don't know if that's going to translate this season, but I would love to be wrong, because I'm probably going to watch a lot of Hawks this year.
Dude, Cam Reddish could also just be one of those 3-and-D guys that everybody's got a big heart on right now for. I mean, the Rockets just have all the tools and all the pieces. That's all I'm saying. They got the star power, they got interest. They've got a fun team that you can throw lobs to. They can hit fucking threes from the logo. Like, I mean, they're the Blazers but younger.
So there was in the 80s, the Denver Nuggets were just having like games where it would be like 150 to 140, and I'm wondering if today's pace and 3-point shooting, the Hawks could like score 150 but give up 160. Like, we'll have to find out.
We will. Yeah.
All right, so tell me about the Magic then. According to Scott's Wikipedia research, they are in their rebuilding phase now, but how are they going to get out of it? How are they going to claw their way out? Scott, we're going to start with you.
Magic fans might be upset with me, but they have to trade Aaron Gordon. They got too many weird pieces that don't quite fit. And what do you do with Vucevic? What do you do with Bamba? What do you do with Isaac? What do you do with the guard they just got from Philly, the #1 pick? And it's so sad of a situation that I don't even know what they should get back. I just want to see Aaron Gordon go to Minnesota. I think he'd be great there as a 4 next to Towns, and I love that trade. So Orlando, do me a solid and make it happen.
Very sick. What do you think, Zach?
Wow. I mean, I'm not high on Orlando either. I think Orlando needs to completely blow it up. I don't have a big opinion on where Aaron Gordon needs to go, because honestly, they're not even probably going to have a dunk contest this year. That's all I'm saying. That's all that he's known for, is like almost winning a dunk contest and having, frankly, one of the coolest dunks I've ever seen in my life, but still losing to Zach LaVine. I don't know. They definitely need to blow it up. Again, I don't know what they need to get back in return. I think they just need new management, man. Like, it's not the players' fault. It's clearly the organization.
Ooh.
they've gone through so many different regimes. Like it's just they're like in that indefinite period of going through coach after coach, and it's I don't know what they should do. I hate to say blow it up because that's what they've been doing, but like I don't see what the point of this team is making a playoff push. I weirdly wish they would have traded for Chris Paul, but I don't know if they had the assets for it. That would have been kind of fun.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like they have all these young, long assets that everybody's like quote unquote looking for in the NBA. But for some reason, none of them have any value in a weird situation. Like I can't imagine them getting a ton back in a trade for Vucevic or for Aaron Gordon or for any of their players really. Like none of their players have like a ton of value. They're all kind of like medium at best players.
I think their players have a value. The problem is they do not fit well together. They have a lot of guys that overlap and can't start with each other, and there's not a lot of spacing. And I think a lot of these guys are great candidates for buy low and be good in a new change of scenery. Aaron Gordon could be one of those, and I want him to go to Minnesota.
I tell you what.
David Stern should step in like he vetoed Chris Paul trade.
He should force Aaron Gordon to Minnesota.
Even though he's not commissioner, David Stern should wake up
and gives
go,
his take on it. He's like, he needs to go there. Hey, I'm big on that because they would be cool with Aaron Gordon. Like, he would look fun there. Like, he needs a new face. Like, he needs to be a new face on a new squad and, like, bring some energy to a new team. And honestly, I'm just going to say this. I don't know what the Orlando Magic should do, but I think they should maybe give the keys to Markelle Fultz a little bit more. He was a first-round pick once upon a time. He did really well for them last year. And he's still looking good, man. Give him the keys. Like, let him do something.
That's the problem is they have, but it hasn't translated yet. And I think he was the perfect guy to take a waiver on. It's just like, he's only playing 25 minutes. His shot still isn't there after the mysterious he forgot how to shoot scenario in Philly.
The thing is, I don't even watch enough Magic basketball to know that they gave him the keys. I was just like, do it, man. He's got some highlights.
Jack, have you ever played basketball and just like forgot how to shoot overnight? You just like your jump shot was gone and you felt awkward holding a basketball and you were like, I think it goes up, but I'm also too scared to try. And then you're Markelle Fultz. Okay. That's what that's like.
Bold of you to assume I've ever learned how to shoot.
Jack's out there granny
I like
shotting
Markelle Fultz. I'm sorry. I did Fultz dirty.
You did do him dirty, Scott. Come on, man. I thought you liked him. I thought you were a Fultz fan.
Dirty boy.
I thought you were a Fultz junkie.
I was concerned with him when Philly took him, and the first thing I saw from his interview was him talking about his love for Chick-fil-A. I'll never forget that.
Really? I don't remember that at all. He was like, yeah, excited to be in the league or whatever, but free Chick-fil-A.
Is that part of his contract?
Yeah.
Most likely. I think like when he got in there, he was like, listen, there's only a few things I feel strong about, getting a starting spot, Nike shoe deal, and then where is the nearest Chick-fil-A? I need it. Like my limo driver stops there and then takes me to the Philly Stadium.
Spicy chicken sando. Start the day.
For every day.
I like how we started with this game. Like, shout out to us for watching Atlanta and Orlando.
Yeah, what in the world?
Like the Clippers and Lakers played, and we didn't start with that. We started with the Hawks and Magic.
And that's why it's 2020, y'all. Because like shit's just flying off the handle, dude. We're talking about the Hawks and Magic first thing off the bat today. What's going on in the NBA? Stuff has changed, man. Wow.
And Jack has left the chat. He's completely uninterested.
Yeah, we should move on to the next question.
I've been checking emails for 5 minutes now. All right, I'm going to move to something where I know you'll at least have a little more vested interest in, Zach.
Yes.
Kings and Blazers.
Yes.
A quick Google search tells me that the Trailblazers fell short during the bubble season. And it looks like they're largely going to double down, run it back, as they say, with the same team. Mm-hmm. How do they stack up this season to the competition? Did you like what you see with what you saw? Zach, start it with you. Just going to head right into it. 24 seconds on the clock.
Man, I loved the Blazers, and I think they are low-key the surprise pick in the West to surprise some people. I'm talking about second or third best team. Vegas has them pitted at the 9th best team in the West. They have the 9th best odds. Bullshit, dude. They've got so many new great players. They filled all the gaps that they needed to. They finally got some good bigs. The Blazers are coming for the Lakers. I'm telling you now. I'm calling it now right here on Shot Clock.
Scott, over to you.
I agree. I love this Trailblazers team. To anybody who's saying they need to blow it up, get rid of Dame, get rid of McCollum, no. 2 years ago, you were in the Western Conference Finals. You fell short, sure. But last year, weird season with the bubble, everything, had some injuries, but you're getting back Nurkic. You got Robert Covington. No, was it Covington? Who'd they trade for?
They
The
got
guy
Covington.
they got from Houston. Yeah, it was Covington. Thank you. I am confused with Josh Richardson, but the 3-and-D, like, he's literally perfect for that team. They're great. I know I went over, but you know what? I'm in love with the Trailblazers. Everyone would go over.
I love
All good, all good. No, it's allowed. A little back and forth.
Hey,
Zach
and I love
gave
that,
to you.
Dude, I was shocked, man. When I saw Covington on the court for them, I was like, damn, did the Blazers put together a fucking NBA Finals team this year or what, dude? They have him. They have Rodney Hood back. They have Nurkic. They have Harry
Kanter's out
Giles
there?
from the
Hell
Kings.
yeah.
They picked up that big
Yes.
Harry Giles, who everybody's super high on because he's big and long and like super athletic.
And Harry.
Dude, yeah, and his name's Harry. It was perfect. They're a good squad, dude. I mean, I'm high on them, dude.
I gotta say, preseason wise, it felt really good, and it felt like a return to normalcy in this crazy year to just see Dame pull up from deep and just jack up a three because he
just
can.
nail it. Oh god, it was beautiful. Can I say I will say, like, I've been hearing people talking about the Blazers a little bit, and Stephen A, our favorite Scott, Stephen A. Smith, called them out today and said that they're not going anywhere without a second superstar. And to that I say, do not ever badmouth DJ McCollum like that again, dude. Okay, he may not be making any all-star teams. He may not be everybody's favorite, but that dude is putting up superstar numbers. He's at least putting up Paul George numbers, and he's not disappearing in the playoffs. So we need to give that man some respect after a fucking goddamn long
He deserves some respect. I don't know if he's a second superstar, but they don't need it. This team is built around Dame and CJ, and they're going to lead them to the promised land, and I love it. They brought it back. They got Covington. They got Kanter. They got Giles. They got a little bit of depth. Like, this team, again, Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. Run it back, baby.
Yeah, Zach Collins is back. He's big for them. They're so good.
Super sick. What do I need to know about this Covington character? Eh?
He was a hot trade piece. He was a really hot trade piece. And it was like, he's like the best 3-and-D guy that was like up for trades last year when everybody was like, we got to double down for the playoffs. And everybody was like, the Rockets need help. Oh, they need somebody. And they traded too much for him.
Yeah, well, I actually love the Rockets trade for the Pocket Rockets squad. Bless up to the shout out to the Pocket Rockets squad, the team that I went to bat for in episode 2. But the thing is with Covington is, as basketball is becoming more and more positionalist, you want guys that can guard multiple positions, that can space the floor, and that's literally Covington. That is what he does best. That's what he's going to do, and that's what they needed.
Yeah, he's a great defender. He's good at shooting from deep. He's a classic, like, you need this kind of player on your team right now, NBA player.
What is I know we talked, they're expecting a full season. I know they didn't, like, fully schedule everything out, but lengthwise?
They're expecting a full season. Well, it'll be 72 games, not 82.
Okay.
But they haven't planned out the second half in case they need that time or to buffer it out, or if there's going to be a shortage. I don't know. I kind of, like, we know we're going to get 72 games unless something catastrophic happens that involves a microphone and Rudy Gobert, not in that order. and they're just kind of preparing for the worst, I think. But we're supposed to get the 72 games. We'll see what they do. Maybe they'll just take a couple weeks off for All-Star break instead of doing something. Maybe they'll do one of those weird NBA fashion shows like they did a few years ago. And I unfortunately watched that one, and I'll never get that time back.
Of course you did, Scott. Well, they're doing the play-in tournament this year, which is super exciting. They're doing that mid-season. At the end of the half season, they're doing a play-in tournament where there's no, like, seeds. Well, there are seeds, but, like, every team gets to participate. Even if you're the 12th worst team, you're in the tournament. Like, everybody's in the tournament. So it's going to be interesting. And they've been asking, the Players Association has been clamoring for that for a couple years now. I'm really excited to see how it turns out.
What for?
Yeah, anything's better than Chandler Parsons in a fur coat during that fashion show. Like, if I had to choose between that and a play-in tournament 9 out of 10 times. Maybe once I picked Chandler Parsons in the fur coat, but only once.
You're like, I didn't hate the fur coat. It was just weird.
One of those dentists out of 10 will recommend that fur coat.
9 out of 10 oral hygienists will recommend a play-in tournament over Chandler Parsons in the fur coat.
Why has the Players Association been clamoring for a mid-season tournament?
I think it's because it's because a lot of people are unsatisfied with the All-Star break. They say it's just like boring, like nobody takes it seriously, like blah 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 this, blah 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 that. And I think a lot of people are just kind of upset also with the power distribution in the NBA. For so long, the Western Conference has been so good. And the 12th team in the Western, like the 12th best, the worst team in the Western Conference technically, is sometimes better than teams that make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference.
Damn.
So people are just like bummed out that there's so much like talent dispersion and that like they can't see teams that should actually be in the playoffs like have a chance, So
yeah, everybody's tired of the Western Conference being so stacked, and in particular, the Phoenix Suns don't want to be the go-to punchline in Game of Zones. That's really all it is. The Suns are tired of being made fun of, and they want a chance to redeem themselves, which was their story arc in Game of Zones. So they kind of predicted it.
That's fantastic.
I love it.
Okay. All right, that's exciting.
Are you excited for basketball back, Ref?
It's back, baby.
I am. I watched so much of the last season because I was so at home all the time. And by that I mean I probably watched because last season I declared myself a Trailblazers fan and watched probably 3 games, which
fair.
Impressive for me.
Yeah, that's a lot of games.
Yeah.
And then and I think I'll probably gun for the Suns. You guys are telling me the Suns are pretty hot. The Sun.
I think they're gonna be fun.
Sun hot.
The
yes.
Fun Suns. Yeah,
I'm in. Buy stock, baby. Give me your credit card. We're buying stock together right now. We're gonna watch the stock just rise and rise and rise until somebody gets hurt and they fall and fall and fall.
Well, I like the rising part, so that sounds great.
Yeah. They're gonna be fun for you this year. I honestly don't know. I mean, I like them as your favorite team for now, it could change, but I love them as your favorite squad because they're a fun team. They're the underdog. And I know that you, Jack, you appreciate a good underdog.
This is true.
I know that about you.
Jack, I'm going to sell you some stock. Get in on Seattle's expansion. It hasn't been announced yet, but it's going to happen. And if you get in now, you'll look like the first fan outside of the city of Seattle that's been ignored by all of NBA. But besides that, you'll be the first fan.
Don't go too far, Scott.
Too late.
Florida needs another team, and Tampa is getting a trial this year. Tampa Bay could get a team before Seattle gets one.
You're right. They're going to be called the Tampa Bay Seattle Supersonics.
It'll serve all the fans. Everybody deserves to be a fan of them.
They'll share a stadium with the Tampa Bay Toronto Raptors. Tampa Bay is just where we're going to send everybody for timeout.
It makes sense. It's the armpit. I've stated this on this podcast before. It's the armpit of Florida. I stand by that.
Sweet old musty Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Jack, you ready to put us on the clock, baby?
Welcome
What's your
to
next question?
Shot Clock Violation, where we give you
you're
the
letting us
hot
run
takes of
wild.
Tampa. Sorry,
You're letting us run wild today, Ref.
If it means roasting Florida, I'm all for it.
Hey, it makes sense, too. This is a preseason episode. We're just taking things easy. Keeping it light.
Hell easy. All right, Scott, I like where you were going with that, so we're going to go over the Bulls next, just for you.
Yeah.
So the Bulls played the Rockets, right? Is that right?
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, tell me.
Twice.
Tell me about it.
I think they won tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Bulls won tonight.
Hey.
No shit. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hey, go Scott. Your favorite team.
Do you want 24 seconds of like a Bulls take, or just like
No, Phil.
Oh,
giving you like?
nah, just give us all the Bulls takes you got.
It's weird. It's like
Has too much power.
It's like, yeah, it's weird. The Bulls are kind of running it back, which is probably smart because they now have a competent front office and a head coach in Billy Donovan, but they're the same car. So it's like I got this like car that was kind of beat up and it was always in the shop. And then like I'm giving it to my uncle and he's working on it and taking a look and he's giving it back to me. And it's like, I hope it's going to work well, but it could also fall apart and I could crash on the freeway. That's how I feel about it.
Well, good thing no one's
I really love the
livelihood and
rookie.
money is at stake.
Yes. And it could endanger everybody else on the freeway. I mean,
I'm glad you
I
understand
don't know.
the stakes,
Maybe like
Jack.
a tire shoots off. Like I'm just driving this car, right? And they start off like 10 and 20 and its steering wheel starts shaking, the belt goes out, and maybe like a tire flies out, and that's marking it. And somebody trades for it, and they're like, yeah, you know what? Pretty beat up, but I could use this. And then they put it on their car and they're driving away instead of helping me. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't get anything back in that trade.
That all went wrong when you said you were at 10 and 20.
Dude,
What kind
if
of
you guys
clock are
lost
you reading,
Markkanen-
boy?
Dude, if you guys traded Markkanen, I'd be depressed for you, Scott. You've been so high on him for so long. That 7th pick was the best 7th pick of all time, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm not going to do any research and say you're correct.
I'd be so depressed for you.
That's what we like. Yeah. All right. So actually, for this game, we're gonna go over to Zach, and you're gonna tell us about the Rockets, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Any hot takes on the Rockets? Are the Rockets fun? Start now.
Man, I'm going to say I'm so high on the Rockets this year. And can I just say, like, mad respect to James Harden. He's doing what he's got to do in this players league right now. And he's like, like having his way with his team. But I don't want him to return to the Rockets. Like, I want them to hand the keys over to John Wall. And I want this to be the John Wall and Boogie Cousins team. They were fun. I don't want to get too, like, hot takey, like, hyped on that preseason game that we just watched. But they looked so fun. And just seeing John Wall with, like, a smile on his face again, enjoying the NBA, was, like, it was some good entertainment, man. And, like, I know they're both just excited for this season, him and Boogie, just to be back on an NBA court. And that's just the energy I need right now, man. It's cool. It's fun to see. And I loved watching them. It was the most fun preseason game I watched.
God, my phone must be muted because I buzzed you like 6 times and none of them went by. That was like 40 seconds.
Oh, no.
MF, you got 2 of those.
I have 2 violations already.
You're doing great.
Zach was just in his own little world feeling good about John Wall, and he was just like, nothing could ruin that.
You should have pre-wrote your answers. I like the theory though, Zach. Scott, do you have a response? Not a rebuttal, but do you have a timed answer to tell us about the Houston Rockets?
Yeah, my response is that it's all going to come crashing down. Listen, it's fun for now because Harden's not there. He wants to be traded, and he's going to do everything he can to be traded. And that means hog the ball and probably get like 5 straight backcourt violations when he comes back. But no, real talk, like James Harden's going to make that team not fun because he needs the ball.
I think they're going to trade him, man. I think they're going to trade him. He opened up. He said, "I'll go to Miami. I'll go to the Bucks." I think they're going to trade him, man. I think he's going to end up in Miami, and you know what? I think he's going to make Jimmy Butler's life hell. And whatever.
The problem with that is he's still under contract, and the Rockets aren't just going to trade away a top 5 offensive talent in the last 30 years for nothing. Like, they have all the leverage here. They're going to play the waiting out game, and John Wall is going to suffer. That man is going to hate basketball. He's not going to want to play anymore.
Scott, I know you saw this because I texted you. They said Tyler Hero is not off the table. You don't think the Rockets would do that? You don't think they would say, okay, this guy showed potential in the NBA Finals as a rookie. We can take a chance on him and get rid of our superstar that hates us. You don't think they would even think about it?
Tyler Hero's not the centerpiece of that deal. Tyler Hero is like the little cherry on top of that deal. Tyler Hero's not getting that done. They're like waiting to see if they can get Ben Simmons for James Harden. Tyler Hero is not going to switch that. Maybe Tyler Hero and like unlimited hero sandwiches. Like that's the only way to get it.
The Rockets owner has like a fast food chain, so he might take a sandwich deal for James Harden.
Oh shoot, you're right. Like he has failing businesses. He'll trade for Hero just to make him work at a sub sandwich. Actually, this is a game changer.
The sandwich barter. 2021 season, man.
I like the idea
Season
of
of the
Tyler Hero
sandwich.
gets traded for Harden, shows up to the Rockets facility, introduced to everybody, and the owner walks up to Hero, pats him on the shoulder, and says, "You can fit so many sub sandwich endorsements in this baby."
It's the season of the sandwich, baby. The season of the sandwich.
Season of basketball's back. Anyways.
All right, we're gonna move over to the Bulls now. So Scott, you were telling me that they're running it back, but they got a front office change with time on the clock this time. Any thoughts after 2 games? Can we expect new tricks from an old dog, from your old car?
My thoughts is they're not going to win a lot of games this year, but it's going to look a lot more promising. They're like no longer limiting everyone of square peg and round hole. They're letting guys kind of cut and let the ball come to them and let their game kind of be more incorporated naturally. So I expect to be a little more optimistic.
That's exciting. Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, so I'm in a similar place. I'm not going to say that like they're going to like do anything crazy, but I'm excited to see how Billy Donovan works with these players. And I'm already seeing like Lauri Markkanen, for instance, like looking a lot better in that preseason game. He's doing a lot more things that I want to see him doing than he was under Boylan. So I'm just excited to see how the squad changes over this year, and maybe next year or the year after that, they can really make a run for something like a playoff spot.
Very solid.
But I mean, the thing about the Bulls is like they're kind of in a similar place as like I would say the Kings were last year, where they've got just enough young talent where I'm like, oh man, like if they just got lucky enough, they could surprise some people. They've got just enough like really good young talent like Wendell Carter, Lauri Markkanen. I think like if those guys met their full potential, like what we imagine for them anyway, as their potential, like that team would look mean. I mean, Lauri Markkanen, like his full potential is like a Dirk Nowitzki type. Like we're talking about a superstar that won a championship. Like if he can somehow reach that, they'd be a sick team to watch.
I may be living in LA, but you can take the boy out of Chicago, but you can't take the Chicago out of the boy. I'm waiting for it to go wrong. It always happens in Chicago sports. You guys know it's going to go wrong. I'm not getting my hopes up.
No such thing as optimism in a Chicago sports team.
Scott, I tried to hype you up too much last year. I said, damn, you guys are coming for that last playoff spot. You're going to hit that 8th seed so easy. And what happened, dude? We were disappointed like a motherfucker.
I'm just glad we weren't recording a podcast when I talked myself into Jabari Parker. I was like, what could go wrong?
What could
Narrator, it went wrong.
It went wrong.
That's lovely.
Oh, God, that's so right. I'm glad that was a phone call. That was a good phone call, Scott. I remember the Jabari Parker phone call. The Jabari Parker is back.
1 year deal.
Yes. 1 deal. 1 year deal. What could go wrong with Jabari? Oh, it went wrong.
Oh, hey, wait. So you guys watched, are the games still in the bubble? I realized that like, heard maybe not. No,
it's not.
No, they're playing at their stadiums. As far as I know, some teams might be doing fans in a limited capacity, similar to the NFL. But I know a ton of teams that aren't doing any fans, but they are playing at their own stadiums and traveling on the road. I'm sure they did a whole thing about scheduling of figuring out how to limit so you're not going 1,000 different places in 3 days. But
they did. They're having a ton of like. You wait in a city for a week and play a back-to-back like a couple days later kind of thing. They did think about scheduling in that way, Scott. Yeah, they were really smart about the schedule.
That's nuts.
Yeah, dude, the NBA is leading leagues.
I think
man.
it's just Disneyland didn't want to.
Yeah.
I think Disneyland just didn't want to ante up the money to hold them all
They
again.
kicked him out. So we're
They were like, it
reopening
has to be on
soon.
Disney Plus by itself. The Mandalorian was going to be one of the players.
Wow. So the
Question. Who's the baby Yoda of the league and why is it Trae Young?
I don't know if it is him though. Why is it not Luka, Scott? Huh? Same draft class was taken after Trae Young. Why is it not Luka? Why can't baby Yoda be Luka, Scott?
all right, which
People like him.
which of those two do you guys giggle uncontrollably when he appears on your television?
Trae Young.
You're right. It's Trae Young. It's Trae.
Baby Yoda
He's
strikes
always
again.
he is the baby Yoda of the league. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even came for you.
I just like him. I'm not even saying a thing because he's short by NBA standards. I just think he's the baby Yoda. It fits.
It's really
Everybody
just
likes
about
him.
how likable he is. He's like
too
one of
popular.
the most
Spiritually.
likable players. He's just so chill, so cool. I mean, they call him Ice Trae. Ugh, that's a dirty nickname, dude. He's got it all, man. He's got the cool nickname.
Yeah.
He's got the signature shoe now.
Give him
He's got
Baby
the
Yoda
team.
now.
He's Baby Yoda. Trae Young is Baby Yoda. Okay,
That's
he's the
fantastic.
Baby Yoda of the NBA.
Damn.
Clint Capella is the Mandalorian. He guards them, make sure there's no scuffles.
All right.
Yeah. He's bruising.
We're done. You went too far with that, Scott. You get a violation.
The NBA is back, and so is the Mandalorian. Now, a word from our sponsor,
Our
Disney
sponsor,
Plus.
Disney Plus, Disney Parks.
Do you want to
Disney
watch
Kids.
National Geographic? Just kidding. You're here for the Mandalorian, only on Disney Plus.
Okay, but speaking of television, since they're no longer in the bubble and there's no fans in the stands, and that's boring. That leads us to our halftime question. Happy halftime, boys.
Happy halftime.
I need you guys to pitch me Shark Tank style. Any way or ways to improve the NBA's broadcasts until fans are back in the stands. We'll give you guys some time. Think about it. Maybe we'll
24 seconds, right?
you will have 24 seconds to pitch to me.
That's tough, man. Can you imagine pitching to Mark Cuban in 24 seconds?
Ugh,
No.
Yeah.
And I refuse to do so.
Hard for you.
Maybe he would at least appreciate the novelty because he owns the Mavs. He'd be like, "Oh, cute! You like the NBA? Now get out of here with your business." Is that how businessmen talk? Do they talk kind of?
I don't. He's just like, he gets upset because he's just like, Luka is Baby Yoda, not Trae Young. We all know this.
Mark Cuban already has a problem with our podcast.
Hey, you're the sleaze bags that said Trae Young was Baby Yoda.
Hey, he's into technology too. Like, who knows? He's probably listening to us right now, being like, "They're so wrong. It is definitely Luka. It's so Luka."
It's been too long.
We're going to get a strongly worded email from Mark Cuban.
All right. So, Scott, you are still in the lead with one fewer violation than
Oh
Zach.
my god, damn, dude! I've been racking them up.
Oh, man. I'm setting it up to choke a 3-1 lead, and I hate it.
Scott's going Clippers.
All right.
About to Pat Beverly this.
Yeah.
So, how do we improve the NBA's telecast in the upcoming season? 24 seconds on the clock starts now.
You talking to me?
Who's
Oh,
up
Scott,
first?
Scott.
Scott, go, Scott.
Oh, okay. Give me the clock.
Go now.
Okay, the only way to improve it is we all enjoy how Charles Barkley pretends to watch games that he's not watching, so we set up a hidden camera in his room for a split screen, so we watch as he's like on his phone, and then we watch afterwards during halftime where he pretends to know what he's doing, but he has no idea, and it's just so great. He's never in on the joke.
Damn. That's months of entertainment. All right, Zach, what do you
I
think?
got it. Okay, so are you putting time on the clock? Are you ready? Are you ready for me? Okay. Oh, well, restart the clock, Jack. Hey,
now.
restart it. Give me a fair shake. Okay.
You
So who's
schlub.
watching these games? Who's watching these games? It's young people. What do young people like? GTA, Grand Theft Auto. Okay, what's fun about Grand Theft Auto? Hanging out with your friends and turning that weird camera function on where it just cuts randomly to different camera angles and you're all over the place. I think the NBA should do that. They have got so many cameras in the stadiums now because there's no fans. They should just cut to random angles all the time and let stoners do the broadcast like your stoner friends while you're playing GTA. Well, I like it. It'll be fun, kind of, maybe.
Hidden camera show or upgrade the cinematography?
Yes.
Both pretty impressive. God, I gotta say, I think I'm gonna give it to Zach.
Woo!
Giving the point to Zach.
What's up, my Grand Theft Auto
It's only
friend?
because
Jack,
Only-
dude, I know.
Only because Barkley will figure it out after the 7th or 8th episode.
this is the problem. Jack doesn't watch the NBA, and he doesn't realize that Barkley would never, ever figure it out. And everybody would be laughing at him, and he'd still not understand it.
Careful.
Jack's got his hand on the buzzer. Jack, if you don't remember, did you watch Space Jam, Jack? Did you ever see that one?
Yeah. I don't know why I got defensive about it. That's a fair question.
Charles Barkley was the orange alien that had his pants pulled down.
Oh.
Yeah. So Charles Barkley, he's getting
He
pranked.
brings up a good point, Ref. If you want to go back and change the ruling of who wins.
No, please don't do that, Jack.
The ruling stands.
Yes. I needed that.
I am so Pat Beverlying this. I hate it.
I don't know what that means.
I love this podcast.
Son of a bitch. I will make this buzzer work, so help me God. Too little, too late. All right. You dodged another point loss this time, Scott.
Yes. Or no.
For not knowing who Pat Beverly is. All right. Moving on to the next one. We're moving on to the Mavs and the Bucks. What do I need to know about this? I don't know anything about these teams. How is Giannis doing? Just take it away. No, it's not a timed one. Just how'd it go?
Fill it in.
Giannis looked insane. Did Giannis things, and that includes dominating, scoring 25 and 25, and that also includes his first possession with the ball. He chucked up a 3-pointer and airballed it.
Giannis doing Giannis.
Giannis doing
Giannis, baby. 2-time MVP, baby. The only thing he's missing is the confidence of like a Nick Young. When Nick Young would jack up a 3, turn around and hold up 3 digits, and the ball would miss the rim.
He needs that Nick Young confidence. Don't we all wish we had that?
So was it a good game?
It was kind of fun to see the teams. I think really what's exciting is, for me, I feel like this is a preview for the NBA Finals. A very good chance of that. And it's got me thinking, how do these teams match up?
It sounds like you want to take a take on that, Scott. It sounds like you want to set the shot clock to talk about
I think I want to set the shot clock, Coach. I think.
You want to go
Let's get
in?
it. We don't need to do the layup drills anymore. Let's go. Jump ball. Here we go.
I'm putting you in 24 seconds. Make it happen.
This is the NBA Finals preview. That's my hot take. The Dallas Mavericks are my second favorite team in the West. I love this team. I love that they got Josh Richardson, who was miscast in Philly, and also with Giannis in Milwaukee. I talked about last week. Love the Drew Holiday trade. That's the best team in the East for a reason. It's happening, boys. Get ready.
Hype. Zach, what do you think?
I don't think this is the preview for the NBA Finals because you know what's going to happen for that to be true? Both. Giannis and LUKA are going to have to prove that they are the new best players in the NBA. They're going to have some superstar, megastar level performances to make this happen. Giannis has been shut out 2 years in a row. I'm not high on him doing it for the third time. And, Luka's still really young. I'm not going to guarantee that he's going to do that. LeBron is coming for it, guys. We all know we're going to see LeBron in the finals again this year. The Lakers. Come on, man. I don't think the Mavs are going to squeeze by.
Counterpoint. Luka last year against the Clippers was the equivalent of LeBron against Detroit in 07. It's his coming out party. He's ready. And Giannis has 2 MVPs for a reason. Drew Holiday's going to help in the playoffs. He's been coming for it. And Chris Middleton's going to make you eat crow, Zach. He's going to have a quality game where he scores 24 points and scores 8 in the fourth quarter. And you're going to have to admit it when they're in the finals.
Dude, I'm not going to have to, though, because I've been disappointed by Chris Middleton 2 years in a row, Scott. Okay, last year when he scored 50 points in one game, everybody said, oh my God, Chris Middleton, is he really a good player? Where did he go in the playoffs, Scott? They lost to the Heat, dude. They had one superstar in Jimmy Butler on their team. And we have Giannis, who's supposed to be the MVP, and Chris Middleton, who's supposed to be a Jimmy Butler caliber player. Dude, and he disappeared. He couldn't even D up Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler went rampant on the squad, dude. Like, Chris Middleton's supposed to be this 3-and-D god, and he's just not that, man. And I'm just going to say it, man. Like, he looks weird when he's on the court sometimes. Like, he just, like, his appearance doesn't do it for me. Like, he doesn't look like a guy that's got it all put together. Like, I know that's the stupidest argument ever, but he doesn't even pass the eye test, Scott. Chris Middleton. He doesn't even pass the eye test.
He passes it for me, but I also wear glasses. But here's the thing with Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is a really good 3-and-D player. However, he was miscast as a second superstar. He doesn't have to do that role anymore with Drew Holiday. I'm not even saying Drew Holiday is a second superstar, but he's going to fill in for that shot creator role that they needed, and Middleton can be 3-and-D guy.
I'll give you that, Scott. I'll give you the Bucks make it to the finals. You still have to get the Mavs in there. They have to squeak past the Portland Trailblazers, who I am high on, and I know nobody else is. The Denver Nuggets, who freaking showed up last year. The Clippers and the Lakers. That's a lot of squads for Luka to squeeze past. Like, we're talking about a Michael Jordan level performance that Luka's going to have to put together. I'm not saying he can't do it, but if he does, it'll be shocking, and I'll love every fucking second of it.
You know what kind of performance it's going to be? It's going to be LeBron-esque. And I want you to think of who Luka's player comp is right now. LeBron.
It is LeBron, though. It is. He's tall. He's got great leadership skills already at a young age. He is, though. He's taller than Jordan. He's built more than Jordan. He's got this, like, uncanny pace to him, which isn't very LeBron or Jordan, but it's, like, cool and all his own. I like Luka, man. I'm high on him. I think he could do it. I'm not saying he is not capable of that performance, because he totally is. I'm just saying, like, am I going to bet on it and say that he's going to make it to the NBA Finals right now? No way, man.
I'm not going to bet on it, but I have the referee's credit card, and he's going to bet on it. I'm getting that stock. He's now a Dallas Mavericks fan. He's buying it.
The Dallas Mavericks 2021.
What's up, ref? That's the hottest take, dude. Who gets the violation, man?
I just have to say, I absolutely loved, out of all the things you could have picked about Luka or LeBron to talk about, you started with he's tall, and that is my favorite thing ever.
I was comparing him to LeBron, okay? LeBron is tall. Okay.
I love it. I'm not even making fun of you. It just legitimately made me laugh.
Luka is just like LeBron, you guys. He's tall. He has good hair. I like the shoes he wears. He plays basketball. So fun.
Dallas Mavericks 2021, baby.
Yeah, you ready to talk about what we're all ready to talk about,
Texas,
Scott?
Including Luka's height. What?
I said you ready to talk about what we're all ready to talk about?
Oh, yes. As of the night of recording this, the most important game.
The most important preseason
like
game of all time.
Is the Washington Wizards versus the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
There it
is. More important than Zion's debut in preseason, where he had those, like, 3 lobs and the welcome to the NBA shot. That wasn't in preseason.
Hot damn. All right, so why was this the hottest game? I'm seeing the Nets are trending on Twitter. Why?
It's hot. It's hot. Because they have KD back, who's low-key one of the most exciting and just like elegant and beautiful players to watch in the NBA. Like it's just like pure art and magic when he plays basketball, and he's finally back on a court doing the things that he does. Very exciting for everybody that just enjoys basketball, period. Like if you like basketball in its purest form, watching him is a dream. And Kyrie Irving's on that squad. They're one of the most talked about teams in the league, and they're at full power right now. And we got to see it for the first time ever, and it was great. It was amazing.
Very excellent. All right, solid. All right. So what did you guys think of the Wizards? And Scott, I'm gonna send this over to you. 24 seconds.
Okay. I love the Wizards. I think they're this year's candidate to be the OKC Thunder of last year. What I mean by that is the OKC Thunder took on an albatross of a contract, Chris Paul. The Wizards this year take on Russell Westbrook. And then we all wrote them off only to realize, wait, actually, Chris Paul's pretty good, and they got a collection of young talent. Huchimara, Denny Avdia. I love this squad with the Wizards. And, of course, Bradley Beal. I mean, this is going to be a fun team. I think they're going to make the playoffs pretty well, pretty easily.
The hell is an albatross contract?
Just like this contract that like is so untradeable, this contract that's like looming over the franchise they're stuck with. How are they going to get out from underneath it? They have to be desperate to get rid of it, settle for 50 cents on the dollar.
Wow. The looming albatross.
But it worked out. And in a weird way, they traded an albatross for a lesser albatross. Like they traded John Wall for Russell Westbrook, which seems like kind of a super even trade. I'm just saying, like, after the first preseason game, like, it's looking like a super even trade, dude. John Wall is back. I know we didn't talk about the Rockets for super long, but, like, I was freaking stoked to see him going up with Boogie Cousins and all these other players on the Rockets. Like, it was good just seeing him set people up, get his shots. Like, it was fun, man. Like, I'm excited about both these guys. They're both going to do good this season. I know it, man. They're going to prove their franchises, like, wrong, or the people wrong. Like John Wall and Russell Westbrook, they're going to kill it this year.
The most upsetting thing is both players are wearing different numbers. John Wall has 1, Russ has 4, and it's weird.
That is weird. That's a little weird. It is a little weird. I admit that. When I saw Russell on the court, I was like, what? What? That's so weird. He's always been 0, dude. Always. It's always worked for him. And yeah, it's a little weird seeing John Wall on a different number. I don't know. You're right. That part is a little uncanny, but I mean, hopefully.
Which is what scares me, because you could also make a case for a Russell Westbrook Wizards number 4 jersey you're going to get at the thrift store in 5 years, because it's really ironic. Because remember when he was there for a year before he got traded?
Exactly. Who knows, man? But I mean, he was saying that I've heard a lot of things about like how he wants to kind of be there now. Like he likes it there. He's enjoying it. Like I've heard it come out that, he's just enjoying his time there. And maybe that's just like, like him trying to throw shade at James Harden, because everybody's throwing shade at him right now. But I don't know. I kind of believe it, man. It seems like he's a good fit there. It's going to be fun.
I was going to say, I think he was willing to say anything just to get out of Houston.
Yeah.
I think.
No, seriously.
I think that dude could have been traded to like Kenya, and he'd been like, honestly, Kenyan basketball, underrated. Guys are sleeping on it.
For real.
Excellent. Okay, so beyond any individual matchup we've talked about tonight, what you guys think about the teams overall in this upcoming season, and who is going to defy expectations this season, and who do you think might underwhelm? I'm going to start with overwhelm, or who might over-deliver.
You want
Scott,
this
I'm
one
going to send it
first,
over
Zach?
to you. Scott, fire it up.
Oh, okay. I think it's going to be the Portland Trailblazers. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them. They're my number 1 candidate. You could say the Mavericks, but I think the Mavericks are going to start getting some love because of LUKA. I think the Trailblazers are the team that people are going to be like, 8th, 7th seed, I don't know, get bounced in the first round. Ain't going to be it, Chief. Ain't going to be it.
Where do you see them landing?
I think they're a top 4 team in the West. I really
Impressive.
do. I know I said Dallas number 2, but like I could easily see Portland number 2. I could also see Denver number 2. I think them and the Lakers are my top 4.
Wild. Zach, how about you?
Man, it sounds so crazy to say because we've been proven time and time again now. I have an inkling it's just gonna be the Nuggets, man. I say it every year. Like, they've got so much young, exciting talent. Michael Porter Jr. is looking a little better in these preseason games. Like, he's like a little bulked up, like beefier, you know. He's putting on a dad bod. And dude, Jokic is officially the best big man in the league. Like, they've just got so many good players. Jamal Murray, like, they're gonna turn some heads this year. It's them or the Lakers coming out of the West. Like, I'm just calling it now. And like, nobody wants to count them in for that. Everybody wants to keep saying, you know, maybe next year will be their year, like every year. No, this year's the Nuggets' year, man. They could do it, man. They came back from a bunch. They're the only team in NBA history to come back from 2 3-1 deficits. They're constantly getting down by 20 and constantly coming back from 20-point deficits. They're just the best second half team in the league, too, frankly. The Nuggets are a great second half team.
My only counterpoint would be I'm scared of the Nuggets because I'm scared of what Jamal Murray is. I'm scared that the playoff bubble was a little bit of an outlier. The defense was a little optional because guys hadn't really been playing in a while, and then they got forced into this after a 3-month break, and him and Donovan Mitchell went crazy. I don't know if Jamal Murray's the real deal. I honestly think he has a lot to prove this season.
Yeah. You know, I might even change my answer to the Jazz. Nobody's talking about them right now, but they just signed Donovan Mitchell to a longer term contract, and they've still got a great squad, dude. Bogdanovich is going to come back for them, dude. He was out all playoffs, and they still made a great contention last year.
Also, everybody's sleeping on the Orlando Magic. No, I'm kidding. Nobody's sleeping on them.
Hey, guys.
All right. The emergency pee. Yeah, towards the end of these
We should have
episodes,
an emergency podcast.
All right, Scott, I'm going to tell you the tiebreaker question so I can give you a head start.
You can't.
Are you sure?
I got to think about it. No, you shouldn't. You should not. We should make it even.
Very well.
Unless you tell me the wrong tiebreaker question, which would be hilarious. Like, I'm thinking about one thing.
Wow, that'd be fucked. Nah, but now Zach will see that there was like some treachery.
I almost peed my pants for this podcast. I want you guys to know that.
Thank you for
Shout out, baby.
I'm so committed. I almost did it. I thought about it for a second too. I was like, should I? No, keep your dignity, sir.
Should I pee my pants?
Should I pee my pants for this podcast and not even mention it? No, hold on to that dignity, sir. Run to the bathroom, pause the podcast, and make an edit.
You're going to have to make an editor too.
Paul Pierce. You should have pulled a Paul Pierce, pooped yourself, and waited for your roommates to carry you to the locker room to change your shorts.
Oh, God. The fuck?
Oh, man. Jack needs filled in on that, Scott. Come on, dude. Do the fill-in. It's your favorite thing to talk about.
Paul Pierce,
love talking about
NBA Finals, legendary performance. He went for, I think it was like a layup, and then he was laying on the court, and then he looked injured, and then his teammates picked him up and carried him to the locker room, and then he came out of the locker room in a wheelchair, which I think is a little overdramatic, but I also don't want to shame him. And the reason I think it was overdramatic was he then got out of the wheelchair and continued playing in the game. Years later, he confirmed on The Jump on ESPN that he did indeed poop himself, which was the famous urban legend.
Holy shit.
So it was confirmed. It was the craziest conspiracy in NBA history, people. Like, we're talking about Poopgate, okay? People are like, did Paul Pierce fake an injury because he pooped his pants? Like, did he? And people are like maximizing photos to figure it out. He confirms live on TV that he did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unreal. It was so funny. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Recorded on TV.
Yeah. It's the only time we'll ever relate to a professional athlete.
That devotion.
Truly.
You guys pooped yourself as well, right? Like,
yeah.
During any kind of games. Yeah.
Okay. Oof, okay.
All right. All right. I don't know. Let's just all like clap a bit, and then so that'll signal the end of the break or end of the edit for you.
Yeah. Surely now, Jack, Now, surely you have a tiebreaker question for us because I'm sure
Well,
that
we
we're
can talk
tied.
about who's going to underwhelm.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, I want
Wait, go back. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right.
to. No, yeah. Okay, so conversely, who do you guys think might be the big blow up this season? And Zach, I'm gonna send it over to you.
Man, I think the Clippers are going to fall apart again. I straight up think it. I know it's an easy take to take out right now, but I think that Paul George and Kawhi just don't mesh as good as everybody thought they would, and they didn't get that true point guard that they needed this season to facilitate the ball. Kawhi's not going to turn into that person overnight. I just think they're going to be underwhelming again this year, even though they got two massive players.
Scott?
I have two answers. Standing wise, it's going to be the Rockets. They're in fourth place last year. But I think expectation wise, popularity, it's going to be the Warriors. I mean, it's the team that went to 5 straight finals. Steph got hurt last year. Okay, it's a year off, but then they lose Clay again. I think fans are going to be expecting the Warriors to do something after a dynasty run, and I don't know if they make the playoffs.
I'm calling you out on that, Scott. I'm going for a rebuttal, man. Because, dude, I think they're not that bad. I watched that game of theirs, and yes, they looked resoundingly underwhelming against the Nuggets. But let's be honest, the Nuggets are fucking solid, dude. They're a really good team. And, you know, the Warriors don't have a lot of size. They're not going to compete with a team like the Nuggets in that regard. I just think the Warriors looked good because, one, they got Steph Curry back. He's a breath of fresh air. They got Pascal on their squad still, Eric Pascal. He's a great player. He did really good for them last year. And on top of all that, just putting this out there, they got Kelly Oubre. I'm high on him. I think Kelly Oubre Jr. is a great player with high potential who's electric and fun to watch. And the fact that he like snuck onto the Warriors was such a surprise for me. And, you know, I know Clay's out. I'm not saying that Kelly Oubre is even in the ballpark of a Klay Thompson. But hey, man, he's not that bad. Okay, he can do something a little bit for them, put something together. I think they're going to be exciting to watch at the very least.
All right, but with the Warriors, they didn't make the playoffs last year. So out of the 8 teams that did make it in the West, with a core of Steph Curry, Wiseman, Draymond, Pascal, Kelly Oubre, who are they knocking out there? Like, I don't think they could even knock out the Rockets with James Harden. I think that's a better team. I just don't see them jumping into the playoff hunt.
Well, one thing we have to keep in mind too this year, though, I'll just put that out there, Scott, is there's no scheduled playoffs yet, and the play-in tournament is happening first. I'm just going to say, you know, I don't know about the playoffs. I don't know where they're going to be yet, but the Warriors are going to turn heads in that play-in tournament. I know it, man. They're going to be in a dogfight with some number 1 seed, and they're going to turn some heads. They're going to make LeBron think twice. Like if they're the last team in the West and they have to play the Lakers or the Nuggets, they're gonna take them to like 5 or 6 games, man. With the experience that they have and the 3-point potential that they still have on their team, they're gonna turn some heads.
Conspiracy time. Was the play-in tournament created by the NBA because Steph Curry wasn't in the bubble last year, and you know they were pissed off about it?
Dude, and
like honestly,
hey,
like you have Steph Curry in a tournament, people are gonna watch.
Can I fuel your conspiracy, Scott? Can I fuel it? Steph Curry is the only NBA player since Michael Jordan to get his own shoe brand. He got his own one that is separate from another. Like, it's not like Shaq where he created his own, like literally from nothing. He was a part of Under Armour, and Under Armour specifically created a subsidiary brand just for Curry in the same way that Nike did that for Jordan. He's the first player since Jordan to get that.
Interesting. So all you violation junkies at home, we need you to check the paper trail of copyrights and see where it leads, because this is going all the way to the top.
This is going all the way to the top. Steph Curry is popular. They're pissed that he wasn't in the bubble. They need him in the fucking play-in tournament this year. You know it, man.
It all started because of that frozen envelope in '84 that David Stern grabbed to get the Knicks Patrick Ewing. It sent us down this timeline of play-in tournaments for shitty 12th-seeded West teams with Steph Curry.
Dude, you texted me that this week, Scott, and I watched the ESPN 30 for 30 on the frozen envelope. I am all in on that conspiracy. I had no idea it existed. I am so shocked. It was so much fun to watch. I am all in. I think they definitely froze that envelope, without a doubt.
We should do next episode just NBA conspiracies, and we try to convince Jack of all of them.
Yes. Jack's
Sounds
not
fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll believe anything. All right. Our tiebreaker question is I have determined yet again that you guys have equaled your shot clock violations this game. I'll give you guys some
As
time
always.
to write it down, think of some answers, and then I will ask in an arbitrary manner or in an arbitrary order one of you to go first. Your tiebreaker question is, considering that we're swapping sports, not NBA related, after 105 years, the Cleveland Indians are going to drop their name and find a new one. So I need you guys to think of a nickname befitting Cleveland and or Ohio and or Terry Francona. I'm going to give you guys 60 seconds to think about it. And then Zach's going to give us his one first.
Perfect. I'm so ready.
Are
I got
both of
the
you
best
guys
one.
ready?
I'm ready too.
Both of you guys are ready? All right.
so ready.
Need for 60 seconds. Zach, we're going to start with you. What is the name of the new Cleveland baseball team?
Okay, I got a name that could not be more fitting for Terry Francona, for the city of Cleveland, and for Ohio as a whole, and that's the Cleveland Junkies. Okay, you heard it here first on the Violation podcast. We got to call them the Cleveland Junkies, okay, because Terry Francona's used to hang out with Manny Ramirez and Big Papi, who we all know have juiced up a little bit in the past, okay? Cleveland, Ohio, no short of its junkies. And let's be honest, Ohio has the most opiate abuse in the nation. I'm pretty sure that's a fact. They're the Cleveland Junkies. Let's be real, guys.
Representation for your population. Cleveland Junkies. Scott, what do you think, bud?
All right, listen. I'm a little skeptical that they actually want to, for the good intentions of changing the name for the right reasons, and they're not just doing it for, backlash online and revenue and investments, all that stuff. So I think we need to symbolically represent America's racist past by calling them the Cleveland Tampa Bay Redskins. Especially after Washington dropped it, I think we need to remind everybody about America's racist past.
In Tampa Bay.
In Tampa Bay.
And Tampa Bay.
And Tampa Bay.
And I'm also I don't think Cleveland's doing it for the right reasons. I don't think Washington did it for the right reasons. They begrudgingly did it, kicking and screaming.
I think Washington football team is the most FU of a team name change.
Wait.
It really is.
Hold up. I'm not caught up on this. They changed their name from the Washington Redskins to the Washington football team?
Washington football team.
Yeah.
Dude, if that isn't the biggest fuck you.
Dude.
What? That is massive. Are you kidding me? They're like, yeah, I don't know. Tons of mascots out there. We could be anything. Man, I don't know, though. The Redskins was just so good. Maybe we should just be the football team, guys. I can't think of anything better than that.
I think it was, you guys will get fucking offended by anything. We'll make it so basic you can't even be offended by it. Yeah, you fuckers.
Oh, God. That's
I think that's what they're saying by football team.
I hate that it took them so long to do it. On a more serious note, I want them to change it to the Cleveland Kraken.
Ooh.
Because I love the NHL expansion, Seattle Kraken. And as we all know, there's duplicates in different leagues. And so we should have a baseball Kraken, and we're putting it in Cleveland.
Damn. And it would be like the Kraken Bats. They'd be Kraken Bats. Dude, that would be a sick name.
Can
Why
it
did you come up
actually
with the
be
best name?
the Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Seattle Krakens?
Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Seattle Krakens. You get it. It just rolls off the tongue.
We came up with the best new name right here on Shot Clock Violation, you guys. Isn't that amazing?
That's actually what we're going to call our fans from here on out, is the Shot Clock Krakens.
The Shot Clock Krakens! Dude, I love that. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I don't know why it makes sense. It doesn't. It just sounds cool, and I think anybody can get behind that. I want to be a shot clock Kraken.
Hey, Krakens.
Hey, Krakens. I just like saying it.
Every inning, every like bottom of the inning, we just play that clip of Liam Neeson screaming, "Release the Kraken," just so many times. Everybody hates it, but it becomes a new tradition. It's the 7th inning stretch.
Release the
I
Kraken.
like where your imagination setting. All right. So we have the Cleveland Junkies and the Cleveland Krakens. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer.
Oh, God.
Final answer.
Is it the Cleveland Krakens or the Cleveland Tampa Bay Seattle Krakens? And that will determine if you won or not.
I apologize. Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Seattle Krakens.
Scott wins.
I knew my winning
Maybe
streak could not last. I knew it wasn't going to last.
Maybe I walked him up to it, and Zach, I hope this doesn't bruise your ego, but Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Seattle Krakens is just unbeatable.
It's unbeatable. It's too good. And it came up with the, Krakens just sounds cool. I said that before. I'll say it again. Scott probably deserves to win. What do I have to say, Scott?
So for all the shot clock Krakens at home, ESPN recently released a list of top 100 NBA players where they ranked them. They probably ranked a couple suspicious ones to generate clicks and controversy. However, there's one that I know Zach is very passionate about. And Zach, I would like you to say that Chris Middleton was ranked way too low on the top 100 players list.
What number was he ranked at? Just so
I'll look it up. I'm curious.
Just so I know before I say it, I just want to know, what number was he ranked at? Do I actually believe it? Am I really pissed that I have to do this take? Am I really pissed that I have to put it out in the ether that I think Chris Middleton was snuffed on the ESPN rankings of best players?
All right, I'm scrolling through, baby.
Man,
hang on.
If he's higher than DeMar DeRozan,
Nurkic,
I am going to be kind of pissed.
Iguodala, Whiteside, Horford, DeRozan, Crowder, Bledsoe, Turner, Chris Middleton, number 35, above
30
DeMar DeRozan.
35? Oh my god!
I know, way too low.
Oh my god! Okay, you're right.
Way
I
too
do have
low.
to say that. Okay, on ESPN's recent top players in the NBA, Chris Middleton was ranked way too low. Oh man, number 35? Are you kidding me? He should have been way higher than that. Maybe number 34.
How high should it have been, Scott?
How high?
I mean, I don't want to speak for Zach, but I know how passionate he is, and he's probably at least top 15.
Yeah, Chris Middleton is at least Chris Middleton is at least top 15 in this league. I mean, he's Giannis's second banana, dude. He's coming for that Eastern Conference Finals this year. I bet he hits a big shot. Ooh, go Chris.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you for the golf claps, Jack. I really do feel like I deserve it. And thank you guys thank you to the Shot Clock Krakens out there for joining us on another episode of Shot Clock Violation. We hope to see you guys next week where we're going to be talking about more NBA topics from around the league.
Shot clock violation.